If you are looking to bypass the probate process, the way to do this is by having a trust, also known as a revocable living trust. A trust will ensure that all assets are held in the name of the trust. Thereby, if somebody were to pass away, then there would be no assets that would actually have to pass through probate court. When somebody creates a trust, they may think that nothing else needs to be done to ensure to avoid probate court. However, this is not true. Once you have a trust in place, it is important to ensure that your assets are actually moved into the name of your trust. We need to retitle bank accounts, change beneficiary designations. If you own real property, you need to ensure that title has been changed to be in the name of your trust. By having the assets in the name of the trust, this is what will ensure that probate court can be avoided. Once you have a trust created, you are going to acquire new assets throughout your lifetime. So it's important to ensure that as you continue to get these new assets, whether your trust is updated, which with a revocable living trust, you can make any changes to your trust at any point throughout your life, so long as you have the capacity to do so. But there's also a way to do it where you wouldn't have to make changes to your trust. And that's just by ensuring that the assets are titled in the name of the trust when you create them or when you open those accounts or when you buy a new property, right? Rather than putting it into your name directly, you can put it directly into the name of your trust when you purchase that new home. When having a trust, the biggest thing is being able to avoid probate court. But it doesn't mean that once you pass away that there's nothing that needs to be done from an administrative side. Instead of having to go through probate court, there is something called trust administration. And what this means is that at the point of your passing, your executor or successor trustee would then step in to do the things in your trust that you say that you want done. And this is what we would call trust administration: gathering your assets, paying any remaining bills, being in communication with beneficiaries, and then making those distributions. The process for trust administration can be a lot less time than probate court, and it's also a fraction of the cost. Oftentimes, people try to avoid having to hire an attorney when it comes to trust administration. And while you can do it on your own, depending on the complexity of the estate, sometimes there are just things that need to be done, whether it's notice, requirements in relating to the IRS, to the Franchise Tax Board, the credit bureaus, and other kinds of things that need to be done that maybe a trustee would just need some direction on. So, yes, the trustee can do it on their own, but sometimes it's just a lot easier to make sure that they are following the rules and doing the things that they need to do in their fiduciary role to ensure that they are in compliance. If you have any questions about how to avoid probate by having a trust, please contact us here at Hermance Law. We are happy to help you.
Have you ever thought about what would happen to your house if something happened to you? What about your children? Do you have guardians nominated for your minor children? I would like to offer you a free phone consultation on estate planning. This is to make sure that you understand what estate planning actually is, what's involved in the process, how do we work for clients to make sure that they have legal plans in place to make sure that their assets are protected. Click the link to schedule your free consultation.